Surah Al-Baqarah. Baqarah means cow. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Before we start the surah, we will see some virtues of Surah Al-Baqarah. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Do not turn your houses into graves. Verily, Shaitan doesn't enter the house where Surah Al-Baqarah is recited." Abdullah bin Mas'ud said, "Shaitan flees from the house where Surah Al-Baqarah is recited." Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, Shaitan departs the house where Surah Al-Baqarah is being recited. As he leaves, he passes gas. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, whoever recites 10 ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah in the night, then Shaitan will not enter his house that night. These 10 ayat are 4 from the beginning, Ayat al-Kursi, meaning ayah number 25, and ayah number 256 and 257, and last 3 ayat. Then Shaitan will not come near him or his family, nor will he be touched by anything that he dislikes. Also, if these ayat were to be recited over a senile person, they would wake him up. The Prophet ﷺ said, everything has a hump or high peak, and Al-Baqarah is the high peak of the Quran. Whoever recites Al-Baqarah at night in his house, then Shaitan will not enter that house for 3 nights. Whoever recites it during a day in his house, then Shaitan will not enter that house for 3 days. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, the Prophet ﷺ sent an expedition force comprising of many men and asked each about what they memorized of the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ came to one of the youngest men among them and asked him, what have you memorized of the Quran, young man? He said, I memorized such and such surahs and also Al-Baqarah. The Prophet ﷺ said, you memorized Surah Al-Baqarah? He said, yes. The Prophet ﷺ said, then you are their commander. So one of the noted men, or you can say one of the chiefs, commented, by Allah, I didn't learn Surah Al-Baqarah for fear that I would not be able to implement it. The Prophet ﷺ said, learn Al-Quran and recite it. For the example of whoever learns the Quran, recites it, and adheres to it, is the example of a bag that is full of musk whose scent fills the air. The example of whoever learns the Quran and then sleeps, meaning then he is lazy, while the Quran is in his memory, is the example of a bag that has musk, but it is closed tight. Usaid bin Hudayr said that he was once reciting Surah Al-Baqarah while his horse was tied next to him. The horse started to make some noise when he stopped reciting, the horse stopped moving about. When he resumed reading, the horse started moving about again. When he stopped reciting, the horse stopped moving. And when he resumed reading, the horse started to move again.